Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. I'm Casten Chavez and welcome to Philippine Startalk. Let us have an introduction about the popular people, trends and issues, body and fashion, performances, events, architectures, technology and business we had in 1960 to 1969 in the Philippines. Let's give it up to Godfriend Champagne.
We all know Philippines is one of the richest countries in the world in the past few decades. Here are some of our well-known political leaders from 1960 to 1969, the people behind. The first one is Carlos P. Garcia, year 1957 to 1961. In 1953, he was elected as the Vice President of the Third Republic of the Philippines along with President Ramon Magsaysay. During his presidency, Garcia became popular with his slogan Filipino First policy, which is in favor of the Filipino businesses in the country before foreign investors arrived.
Pag-usapan muna natin, partner, si Carlos P. Garcia at kung anong chika ng kapanahunan niya. Alam mo ba, partner, na si Carlos P. Garcia ay lumaki sa mundo ng politika? Kasama ang kanyang ama na isang alkalde munisipal ng bayan para sa ika-4 na termino. Kumuha din siya ng sekundarya sa Cebu Provincial High School o mas kilala bilang Abeliana National High School at nakapagtapos din siya ng doctorate degree sa Humanities, partner.
Pak, nabalitaan ko din partner na sa halip na magsanay siya bilang abogasya, siya ay nagtrabaho bilang guro sa loob ng 2 taon sa Bohol Provincial High School. Naging kanyang din siya sa kanyang tula sa Bohol na kung saan nakakuha siya ng palayaw ng The Prince of the Silent Poets at ang bride mula sa Bohol.
Yung pala yun, no, partner. Let's proceed to the next, partner.
The next one is Diosdado P. Macapagal, year 1962 to 1965. He won against Carlos P. Garcia in the 1961 election and became the 9th President of the Philippine Republic. In 1962, when he decided to change the date of Independence Day celebration from July 4 to June 12 with the observance of the day when Emilio Reynaldo declared the Independence Day of the Philippines from Spain. Diosdado Pangan Macapagal is still entitled as the best president of the post-war republic.
Siya naman si Diosdado Macapagal ang sangkatutubong mula sa Lubao, Pampanga. Si Diosdado ay nagtapos mula sa Universidad ng Pilipinas at Universidad ng Santo Tomas na kung saan ay kapwa sa Manila. Pagkatapos ng nagtrabaho bilang abogado para sa gobyerno, siya ay naging vice-presidente ng Pilipinas sa ilalim ng pamamahala ni Pangulong Carlos P. Garcia noong panahon ng 1961.
Isa pala siyang kabalan ng partner. Alam mo ba, sininak siya noong Setyembre 1910, isa din siyang abogado at higit sa lahat, naging vice president din siya ng ating bansa noon, partner. Wala talagang imposible, no, partner, mayaman man o mahirap kapag nagsikap ka, angat ka, hindi ba, partner? Let's proceed to the next, partner.
Next is Ferdinand Manuel Edralin Marcos Sr., year 1966 to 1969. He is a Filipino politician from Ilocos Norte, which is considered as kleptocrat. Marcos is a prominent member of a particular party, but in 1965, he failed to be chosen as the person to run as president in the election. Due to this, he decided to run for the other party list and won the 1965 presidential election against Macapagal. Marcos made progress in the agricultural sector, industry, and education, which made him popular. And in 1969, he was re-elected and became the first Philippine president to serve a second term.
Ang susunod namang natin pag-usapan ay mas kilala bilang si Ferdinand Marcos. At sino ba namang hindi nakakilala sa kanya, hindi ba, partner? Na kahit tayo ay wala noon sa pagkukwento sa atin, ay makikilala natin siya. Siya pala ay naging sundalo, ano ba, partner? Ako nga nang hindi siya naabutan na nagtakot sa kanyang ginawa.
Nabalitaan ko rin yan, partner, sa aking lola at lola. Grabe daw ang karahasan noon sa panahon ng pamumuno ni Ferdinand Marcos. Isa pala siyang diktador, partner. Ngayon, partner, pag-usapan muna natin ang may bahay niya na si Imelda Marcos kung bakit siya pinagulang presidente din ng ating bansa noon.
Next is Imelda Marcos. She is a politician and the wife of President Ferdinand Marcos, who became the First Lady of the Philippine Republic in 1965, when her husband has been inaugurated. Imelda proved that she is an invaluable asset through her glamour. She led a beautification project for Manila while her husband is in his term as president.
Kwento ko sa iyo, partner, kung paano nagkakilala si Ferdinand at Imelda Marcos noong panahon na yon, partner. Nagkakilala daw sila noong April 6, 1954 during the budget hearing ng Philippine Congress, partner. At higit sa lahat, kaya pala pumunta si Imelda Marcos noon, gusto niyang samahan si Daniel na kanyang pinsan doon, partner. Doon nagsimula ang kanilang istorya, partner.
Tama ka dyan, partner. Sa pagkakaalam ko din, isa sila sa mga pinakama-influensyang pamilya noon.
You learn, you improved from every mistake, so as the country. Showcasing the trends and issues of 1960 to 1969, a decade of time. Poverty 1964. Despite a declining poverty rate in recent years, 21.6% of the country's population still live below the national poverty line. Rural areas in the Philippines show a poverty rate of 36% in comparison with the 13% of urban areas in the year 1964. The main cause of poverty in 1960s includes the following: low moderate economic growth, low growth elasticity of poverty reduction, weakness in employment generation and the quality of jobs generated, failure to fully develop the agriculture sector, and high inflation during crisis periods or high levels of population growth.
Pag-usapan muna natin ang kahirapan noong 1960s, partner. Alam mo ba, partner, noong 1960s, grabe ang paghihirap na nararanasan natin dito sa Pilipinas.
Tama ka dyan, partner. Sa pagkakaalam ko din, grabe din ang paghihirap na nalasan nila noon.
Sana pagdating ng araw, partner, masolusyonan ng pamahalaan at ang gobyerno ang kahirapan nang sa ganun matugunan ang pangangailangan ng mga mamamayan ng Pilipinas.
On August 4, 1964, President Diosdado Macapagal signed into law Republic Act No. 4166, designating June 12 as the Independence Day of the Philippines. The Spanish later ceded the Philippines to the United States in 1898 with the signing of the Treaty of Paris that ended the Spanish-American War. Death of Emilio Reynaldo. At this moment, let's look at the effects, senses, language, and feelings that arise during the late 1960s. The inauguration of Diosdado Macapagal. The inauguration of Ferdinand E. Marcos. The Philippine Independence Day. In 1964, Republic Act No. 4166 changed the date of Independence Day from July 4 to June 12 and renamed the July 4 holiday as the Philippine Republic Day. New generation, new fashion. Each generation has different taste. Let's take a look at the late popular fashion and body during the 1960s. First is the pantsuit. Second is the shift dresses. And third is the go-go boots. And the hairstyles are the first accessory to an outfit. A complementing hairstyle can avoid the need to have a jewelry on.
At ngayon, partner, pag-usapan naman natin ang body and fashion noong 1960s. May ideya ka ba, partner, kung anong klaseng kasuotan sila meron noon?
Kung pagbabasihan ang kasuotan nila noon, partner, at ngayon, noon, partner, pananamit nila napakahaba, hindi kamukha ngayon, paiksiyan ng labanan, partner. Let's proceed to the next partner sa ating topic.
Now let's begin with the vibe of 1960s performances. Number 1 is 1960, Ang Paghihiganti. (1961) Alias Sakay. (1962) The Big Broadcast. (1963) The Raiders of Leyte Gulf. (1964) Ging. (1965) Pilipinas Kung Mahal. And last, 1968, Manila, Open City.
Dako naman tayo sa mga pelikula o ilan sa mga pinagkakabalakan ng mga tao noon. Karamihan sa mga pelikulang ginawa sa Pilipinas ay nasa Tagalog. Rated STG o pangkarahasan ang pangunahing tema ng mga pelikula noon.
Next part are the remarkable happenings of the 1960s. It was on July 19 when Miss Philippines Gloria Diaz was crowned Miss Universe 1969. Construction, rehabilitation, and upgrade will never be separated in every success of a country. Here are some of the famous architectures from the year 1960 to 1969. The Space Architectural. These photos of Philippine architecture from the 60s show that great design is timeless.
Quick background muna tayo, partner. Pag-usapan natin ang arkitektura ng ating bansang Pilipinas. Kung napapansin mo, partner, ang struktura ng Pilipinas mula sa panahon ng mga Malay, panahon ng mga Amerikano, panahon ng mga Hapon, ay napalitan nito sa modernong konsepto ng struktura.
How much does a person of 1960s know about technology and business? How does it look in the past? Here are some of the latest finds from the decade. Number 1 is Moon Buggy or Lunar Rover. Invented in 1968 by Eduardo San Juan aka the Space Junkman. He was the project leader for NASA in the buggy development, an underfunded and underappreciated engineering success. Our next one is Daniel Dino. He said that he began working on his hydrogen reactor in 1969 and claimed to have used the device to power his 1996 Toyota Corolla. The next one is business. First, the Philippine Holdings Corporation in 1961, or also known as FPH, is a management and investment company whose major business is power generation and distribution. Now let's proceed to Delta Motor Corporation in 1962. Delta Motor Corporation was an automobile company from the Philippines, established by Ricardo C. Silverio Sr. It operated under a technical tie-up with Toyota Motor Corporation of Japan. The next one is Bombo Radio Philippines 1966. Its flagship station, Bombo Radio Iloilo, based in Iloilo City, was founded on July 6, 1966. The last one is Makati Medical Center 1969. Makati Medical Center, or MMC, also known as Makati Med, is a tertiary hospital in Makati, Metro Manila, Philippines with more than 600 beds. The hospital was founded on May 31, 1969.
Another quick background na rin tayo, partner, para sa ating panghuling topic. Ang kolonisasyon sa Pilipinas ay nag-ambag ng paglago sa agham at teknolohiya sa kapuluan. At para daw sa mga umuunlad na bansa, ang pag-access sa teknolohiya ay maaaring magkaroon ng maraming benepisyo.
Alam mo ba, partner, hindi lang teknolohiya nakatutulong ito sa pag-access ng impormasyon, nakatutulong din ang teknolohiya para sa ating ekonomiya, pagbabawas ng mga produksyon sa gastos, at higit sa lahat, nakatutulong din ito sa negosyo at higit sa lahat sa komunikasyon.
You know, it's very nice to reminisce and learn a new information about the past in our country. Being knowledgeable about it is also fun. And we are very proud that we know that we learn about something that has been contributed on everything that we have nowadays.
Maraming salamat sa mga co-host ko na si Godfrey at Patricia. Sa mga tinalakay natin, siguro yung may natutunan tayo. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Sana lagi tayo mag-ingat. This is Castan Chavez, and this is the Philippine Startalk.